I can't buy the air I breathe. I can't buy the trees. I can't buy the deepest seas. But it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.
Welcome again to Around the World in 88 Tales with me, David Heathfield, here in Exeter at the RAMM Royal Albert Memorial Museum here in Exeter, a wonderful museum. And today we are with my good friend and storyteller, Priyanka Chatterjee in Kolkata. Hi, Priyanka.
Hello, David.
How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. And namaste to David and the RAM
Namaste.
Museum and everybody who is listening.
Exactly. Namaste. Wonderful. So this is a project that I'm doing with the museum, and I'm sharing stories with 44 different story sharers all around the world. And it's so exciting. And all of the stories are prompted, inspired by different artifacts from the museum. And I'd like to tell you that James, who's in the background from the museum, is operating the magic carpet. So we're able to travel from here in Exeter all the way to Kolkata. So here I am in Exeter in England, and we're going all the way today to Kolkata. Whoops. Oh, look. India is looking a bit strange with my green screen background, but here, right in the east of India, Kolkata. Wonderful. So, Priyanka, please, can you tell us about yourself, about storytelling, about why you want to do this project?
Yes, for sure. I used to previously work for corporate and multinationals and leading media houses. And over there, while dealing with the product stories or service stories, what I realized is the shelf life of a product or the penetration quality of a service entirely depends on the stories they can tell, because stories make us human. And that's what made me shift myself from this multinational world into the world of storytelling. I decided to dive deeper, went to Emerson College in UK, and then life changed because I started as a story consultant, not only as a storyteller, where I don't only tell stories, I listen to people's stories and then how lives can be transformed through stories. I try to facilitate that with teachers, with senior corporate managers, with the hospitals, and whatever stream of life, whatever walk of life, I try to facilitate them and try to make them realize, because my life's motto, I imagine that tombstone that will be put up after I'm gone, and perhaps it will have written, "Here lieth Priyanka, who wanted to change the world through her stories and stories of individuals, organizations, and communities."
Wow. What a wonderful answer. Thank you so much. So, yeah, transforming the world through stories. That's what we're all about, helping people to get past boundaries that we put up between ourselves and boundaries that we put up for ourselves as well, and free ourselves through storytelling and sharing stories. Fantastic. So I'm going to show you inside one of my favourite parts of the museum. Perhaps it's my favourite part of the museum. It's the World Cultures Gallery. And the World Cultures Gallery is very rich and diverse, with 12,000 artifacts from all over the world. Many were gathered more than 100 years ago at the time of British Empire. But these artifacts are now looked at in new ways and with respect, and looking at diversity and celebrating that diversity. So when I'm in the museum, I always spend longest in that part of the museum. And that's where we're going today. But we're going to a very tiny artifact. And Priyanka, you don't know this, but the artifact I've chosen today is something representing an animal, and an animal which appears in folk tales all over the world. In this case, it's a very small animal. I'm going to show it to you now. It's a turtle. Okay, a turtle. Or it could be a tortoise. But in this case, this turtle comes not from England or India, but it's actually, I wonder if anybody who's watching live or recording can guess, it's actually from the Amazon, from Brazil. And I can tell you very precisely, this is from the Kuikuru people of the Amazon. It's a traditional community. By world cultures, we mean traditional communities in Africa and the Americas and Asia and the islands of the Pacific. And this is from the Amazon. And it's a child's toy, and it's made from buriti palm fabric. And it's made from twisted and woven strands. And you can see the beautiful design and the tiny little bead eyes as well. Can you see little eyes there? So I'm going to place our friend Turtle here so we can all see Turtle. And I'm going to tell you one of my favourite turtle stories. Then afterwards, Priyanka, you might want to respond. You could respond by telling another story about a turtle or a tortoise, or there might be something in my story that reminds you of, maybe the theme of the story makes you think of something else. So your story doesn't have to have a turtle in it, but you can decide. So here we go. So, and Priyanka, please keep your microphone switched on, because I might ask you to join in with the storytelling. And everybody watching, you can join in as well. I learned this story from a young man from Thailand. Many years ago, and unfortunately I wish I could remember his name, but thank you to the young man who told me this story. I think it's the first story I learned from a student that I was teaching English to many years ago. Once, long ago, there was a wide swamp, a swamp full of water, and in that swamp swam many turtles. One day, flying down, came the mighty bird, the Garuda bird, the most powerful bird of all, the bird of the gods, messenger of the gods. And the bird came flying down towards the swamp, swooped down and picked up that little turtle, one little turtle, and was just about to swallow the turtle when the turtle spoke up. "Oh, Garuda bird, please, don't eat me. Don't eat me, Garuda bird. If you eat me, I will not satisfy your appetite. Please, Garuda bird." "Oh," said Garuda bird, "I am mighty. I am powerful. What do I care about you? But please, let us have a race," said the turtle. "A race in the swamp. I will swim and you will fly. If you beat me, you can eat me." Can you say that with me? "If you beat me, you can eat me." Well, the Garuda bird thought this was a very funny idea. "I am the mighty Garuda bird, this little turtle. How could it possibly beat me? But we will try. We will meet here tomorrow at dawn. I will fly and you will swim. I will beat you and I will eat you." And the Garuda bird flew off to the north, to the sacred mountain. Well, in the morning, at dawn, the great Garuda bird returned, swooping down with his mighty wings. He flew down to the very same spot, and there, yes, the turtle hadn't run away. The turtle was waiting. "I am ready, Garuda bird. I am ready to start the race. Are you?" "I will fly. I will fly towards the rising sun. I will fly towards the east." "If you beat me, you can eat me," said the turtle. And the Garuda bird started to flap his wings, quite leisurely, quite slowly. There was no hurry. How could a little turtle in the swamp swim as fast? For a long time Garuda bird flew, and then called down, "Where are you, turtle?" And the answer came back, "Just ahead of you, Garuda." Can you say that with me? "Just ahead of you, Garuda." "What? How can this be? We will now race towards the south." And the turtle said, can you say it with me? "If you beat me, you can eat me." Well, the Garuda bird now did not fly leisurely. He beat his wings more strongly. He flew swiftly like an arrow towards the south. I am the mighty Garuda bird. After many hours of flying, he called down, "Where are you, turtle?" And you know what turtle said? "Just ahead of you, Garuda." "What? How can this be?" And the Garuda bird was furious. "I am the mighty Garuda bird. I will beat you now. We will fly towards the west." The sun was already going down towards the west. And the little turtle said, "If you beat me, you can eat me." Well, the Garuda bird started to beat his wings harder than before. The Garuda bird flew as fast and as hard as he could. He was so swift. Oh, he flew like a rocket through the sky. He flew towards the west and the sun was going down. The Garuda bird was getting tireder and tireder and tireder. The Garuda bird was exhausted. Finally, as the sun was setting, he cried, "Where are you, turtle?" And you know the answer came? "Just ahead of you, Garuda." Oh no! The Garuda bird was so ashamed that he had been eaten. "I will not eat you, turtle. You are too fast." And Garuda bird flew slowly, exhausted, back to the north, to the sacred mountain. Turtle was not Garuda bird's supper. But I'm asking you, all of you who were listening, and you, Priyanka, how did the turtle do it? Well, Priyanka, have you got any ideas?
I just remembered a little story of how Kartika has beat Ganesha has beat Kartika in
Before
a
you tell
race around the world.
Before you tell that story, that's fantastic, Priyanka. Before you tell your story, what do you think? How did the turtle beat the Garuda bird? Do you have any ideas what the trick was?
Yeah, so that is my answer. That because they were competing in two different worlds. One was swimming and another was flying. So like that, Ganesha was actually Kartikeya actually went around the world, whereas Ganesha took rounds around his parents and said, "They are my world."
I love that story. I know that story very well. It's a beautiful story. So you think it was a kind of because they were in different dimensions? Okay. Well, let me tell you. The answer is, of course, how many turtles were in the swamp? Just one? Just two? Or were there hundreds? Were there thousands and thousands and thousands? During the night, that little turtle had talked to his brothers and sisters and all of his cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents. Tell the Garuda bird, "I'm just ahead of you, Garuda." And say to Garuda, "If you beat me, you can eat me." And the word spread from cousin to cousin, from family to family, from community to community of turtles across that vast swamp. All the turtles worked together. Even though they were small, together united, they were strong. We are united by stories, aren't we, Priyanka?
Absolutely. This is such a beautiful, heartwarming story. Oh my God.
So I
We are
learned
truly
that
grateful.
story
Yes.
from a student from Thailand, and you can hear in that story there's connections to Hindu mythology as well, because of course Garuda is the messenger of the gods in Hinduism as well, isn't he? And so you're in Calcutta here. The turtle comes from here in Brazil. And I've just got to grab something, Priyanka, and then will you tell us your story? So Priyanka, we're all waiting with bated breath. I'm handing over to you. Will you tell us a story?
I'm not sure if I can restrict myself in one story, because moment you told this story, things started bursting in me. Just one. But it's inspired by both my personal story as well as something that I heard from my grandparents. So my grandmother, I'm very close to my grandmother, and she will be, sewing the kantha. So the warmer, the blanket, the dohar kind of a thing, that you put the baby in when they're really small, or when it's the winter time. At that time, he will be sewing the katha and then telling me stories. And one of my favorite story was that of a turtle that was very, very talkative and always wanted friends. But inside the pond, hardly he has made friends. Rather, he has two friends as the birds. And one day, when the birds were coming back after their daily hunt, they heard from the turtle that actually there was a fisherman that has come that day. And they are going to plan the next day, the entire pond is going to be, the water is going to be sucked out, because that's the yearly ritual that happens in the tropical countries like India. So that the next time it rains, the fishes, they get replenished, and it's a nice thing that comes up in the next year, because every year they replenish. And hence, all the fishes will be taken out, all the turtles will be taken out, all worms, googlies, everything that is there. And hence the turtle wanted to go out. So the bird said, we are holding the, I know many of you know the story. The birds held on with their beak two sides of the stick, and the turtle had to bite it in. But only one condition, like always, the turtle cannot speak. The turtle kept speaking, but somehow he resisted, and they were flying up, up, up high in the sky. But when they were at the top, there was one little boy who pointed to the turtle and said, can you look over there? The turtle is flying. It must be the birds are so intelligent. And then immediately the turtle wanted to respond, it was my intelligence. I wanted to fly with them. I gave the idea of the stick, not them. And moment he fell down, it broke into multiple pieces. And that's why even in your artifact, you must have seen, we all know that the turtle's shell has many, many pieces. And that's when my granny stopped saying the story. He was all along sewing her katha. And her katha is actually made up from different little pieces, just like the turtle's shell. Maybe one green little patch from a sari, one red little patch from an old salwar, one white patch from a very old napkin kind of a thing. But so all of those are meant to be thrown out. But then, because we used to belong to middle class family, she decided the importance of SDG number 12. So Sustainable Development Goal, reduce, reuse, recycle. She will take all these pieces and then she will tie it together. And because they were all separate, it didn't make any meaning. But when they were all put together, just like the turtle's shell, it was so strong, just like the turtle's community, who said, I am ahead of you. And only when it's a community, only when the katha, where different pieces are coming together, that's when the real power, real strength can come into anything. So I just will close my saying that there is a crack in everything that nature has made. There is a crack in everything that you can put together, be it physical object, mental object, constructions of any kind. But that's where the light gets in, like Rumi said. And that's where the resurrection is. And that's where the return, that's where the repentance is.
Wow.
And
Priyanka,
that's my
that's
story.
absolutely fantastic. Where the cracks are, where we become strong. All those turtles together, strong and united. And did you say your grandmother?
Yes, I call her Amma.
Amma, and it's a Karkata.
Yeah, Katha,
Karthika.
Katha.
Karthika. Putting all those pieces together. Oh, what you brought that story together so beautifully, and bring this session together so beautifully. I'm so glad that you're part of this project, Priyanka. Oh, I
David, would you
love that
give me
story.
10 seconds to bring the Katha if I have it handy? I really want
Absolutely.
to.
While you're
Thank you so
doing
much.
that, I'll just talk about this project a little bit more. So we're meeting storytellers from 44 different parts of the world. On Tuesday, the next session, we're planning to meet two storytellers, Laura from north of Italy and Sui Yen Wong from Singapore. And they're going to be joining us at about this time, just a little bit later, 9:30 UK time on Tuesday, next Tuesday. So join us then and enjoy watching this video. There's a recording as well, and keep putting your comments in and get involved in the project. We're having our first live family event at the museum in Exeter on the 3rd of August. So very much looking forward to that. And let's have a look.
Yeah, David, I think it's quite a moment of epiphany because everything falls into its place when it has to. I just realized not only the Katha, what I'm wearing. It is an accidental wearing. You know that very well because I was wearing another dress in the beginning.
Yeah.
This little ornament is also made from different little pieces. If you can see, this one is red and white, this one is black and white. So all are different pieces that has been recycled and upcycled into this jewelry. So I support this non-governmental organization where destitute women are there, and they make such kind of pieces. And this
Wow.
ethos is perhaps there in India, that whatever you have, we call it jugaad. Jugaad meaning whatever little we have in our hand, we will make sense of it. And here goes from the sense of jugaad. Katha, if you can see, it's different kinds of textures,
Yeah.
but it is made into one.
Fantastic.
And that's when, and then you can hold the baby inside it. Both sides are different, but different pieces put together, and then it becomes strong and it becomes more usable for everybody else around us.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. With those words, let's bring this session to a close. And please do share these posts on Facebook with your friends, and sharing stories around the world. We can bring some healing at difficult times, and we want to send healing wishes to you in Calcutta and throughout India and in many other parts of the world where there's still a lot of suffering going on. So storytelling for bringing healing for everyone. Thank you so much. And I'm going to say goodbye and close this session. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and namaste. Let that light come in.
I can't buy the deepest seas, but it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.